I go to Brock Pierce right now, the Bitcoin Foundation chairman. You might remember he was also a 2020 presidential candidate. He's apparently putting his money where his interests are and seeing that maybe there's a way to get some excitement going in some of these races here. And Bitcoin and all of that is a good backdrop now as a lot of the world's attention turns back to this so-called rogue currency. Brock is kind enough to join us now. Good to see you, sir. First off, if I can go right to the Bitcoin and crypto in general, we've got Bitcoin back over $20,000. We've got a coin. We've got a British Prime Minister, new in the job, apparently keen on this investment. He's not alone. I'm just wondering whether this percolating is telling you something.
Well, adoption, interest, and remember, price is the primary barometer of sentiment. You know, all markets are, for the most part, down right now. Clearly at a governmental level, clearly at a financial institutional level, the jury is out. Everyone believes that this technology is here. It's here to stay, and trying to understand how best to interact with it, how it might be used to better the lives of their constituents and people. And it's making an impact in this in politics here domestically as well.
Let me understand the political part of this. You, of course, have run for president. Of course, you had your fortune gained in this technology and other things, obviously. But it's sort of been a non-investment event over the last year or so. It hasn't benefited nearly as some had hoped, given just the panic in other markets. Are you surprised?
Well, we've been through these cycles multiple times, so I'm not surprised at all. Obviously, this has not been the best year as a new entrant into crypto, and I'm pretty bullish on the fact that the markets will rebound at some point. I don't know if that is next week or next year or the year after that, but for anyone that's been in this market for an extended period of time, this is just another one of the regular cycles. And so I'd call that a good buying opportunity. Buy low, sell high, or hodl, as we like to say.
Yeah, you'd like to see sell high. Brock, this super PAC that you formed to deal with some races, I believe, largely in the East Coast or the Northeast more specifically. Could you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I was looking very closely at the U.S. Senate race in Vermont with Patrick Leahy's seat opening up. In the end, I chose to focus most of my efforts on Northeast races, but there's also 3 other crypto super PACs. We have tens of millions of dollars. It looks like over $50 million in aggregate that's been allocated to existing races. Commitments from people like Sam Bankman-Fried, myself, and others. Over $1 billion committed to funding political races now and in the future. And so this is the first election
that tip Republican or what?
Well, it's on both sides. Okay. Cryptocurrency, I like to argue, is nonpartisan, and a lot of us are single-issue voters. We're basically people that care about the future, and we have both Democratic and Republican sensibilities in terms of social, call it compassion, combined with personal responsibility.
Because
so we are voters.
Both parties have a fear, Brock, of this currency and how it could rival or hurt the dollar. I mean, they both seem to have, reservations about it.
Well, it depends on who you talk to on both sides.
True.
I gave a speech in Puerto Rico the other day with former White House Treasury and DOJ, and they told to an audience of lawyers and judges, this technology is real. It's not going away. The Biden administration issued an executive order earlier this year basically saying this technology is real. We need to understand it. And so it depends on who you talk to. There are plenty of Democrats and plenty of Republicans that are advocates for change and building a better future.
All right. We'll watch closely, Brock. It's always a pleasure having you. Brock Pierce.